A splash. A splash. A splash. A splash. Give him a splash.
Don't do what we do it.
Because we
Drink,
to
Drink.
I'm Antoine DeMarcus.
And I am Spill No Tea, and this is Foodies with the Tea.
Spilling on tea. What's up, friends? Spill it on me. Let's eat. Dinner's on me. What it's gonna be? I love a good kiki. We can talk ish, but first you gotta feed me. How you talking with your mouth full? Let's bring the vibe out more. We young and we outgoing. If it's going down, we gotta know it. And you know we lit, so how it start, never how it's going. Foodies with the tea. I love a good kiki. Foodies with the tea. I love a good kiki. Foodies with the tea. I love a good kiki. Foodies with the tea. You can talk ish, but first you gotta feed me. Foodies with the tea. Foodies with the tea.
Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you are following us on YouTube. Subscribe to this channel, and make sure that you like, share, and comment on this video. On social media, on Instagram at The Foodies with the Tea, and on Facebook, Foodies with the Tea. Make sure you're following us on those platforms as well.
Always, we have our BarBae, a substitution, if you would. Dee. Hey, Dee, come on.
Dee with delicious cocktails.
Yeah, this is our personal bartender when we go out. Anytime you out and you see her,
you see me.
Get her
I'm
to
who you
be.
want.
Nobody else.
Nobody.
Delicious.
Not that the other girls ain't good, but
you want the best?
Yeah.
Here's the
Toot
best.
your own horn.
Toot toot.
All right. Tell us about your business.
I do all platforms: weddings, gatherings,
small
house parties, all of it.
Oh,
anything that you need. I even travel. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, deliciouscocktails@gmail.com.
On both.
On both.
It's delicious cocktails on both platforms. Okay.
All right.
Two E's, y'all.
2 E's. Don't forget, not one.
But two.
Long gate show. If you ain't never been to English, that's a long E sound. When you get 2 E's, long E sound.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So, how long you been bartending?
9 years.
Really? That's why you're the best. Yeah.
Can you teach me? Is it easy?
It's easy.
I just didn't want to tip. I just want to you know, that's
you gotta be nice.
I want to be nice.
Listen. They get on your nerves sometimes.
You know, we'll have when we get to it. But you know what I'm saying? You can pretty much judge somebody and how they look like, yeah, they got somebody.
It's a memory thing.
Give him a shot.
It's a memory thing. Make your money off me.
What drink did you make for us today?
Today, y'all are drinking lemonade with my tea. Lemonade to my tea.
The lemonade
to my tea.
All right. Lemonade to my tea.
So, CD, if you want your drinks, she'll be in the building.
I'm going to introduce the Foodies shot word of the day. Today's shot word is going to entail
any form of.
Oh, yeah. Any way you try to spin it, you might have to take a shot.
Squid Games. The Squid Games, niggas. Drink up.
Drink or die.
So that's the shot word?
No. The shot word for today is role model or influencer. Oh yeah, that's the point.
I'm like people that be like.
No, you can't say that. You have to say the word. If you have to say the word.
You have to say that.
I mean,
that's the point.
I'm Jermaine Johnson. You can find me at Jermaine Johnson on Facebook. We fire on Instagram. I have a business out, Zip Trip, Slingshot Rentals on all platforms.
Leaveil Binion, co-founder of C4 Midterm. Leaveil Binion on Facebook, Smooth81 on Instagram. I'm old.
It's a big jump in the names there. You see that?
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So these guys are the founders of C4 Mentoring,
an incredible organization
So who's gonna tell the people what C4 is? What C4 means?
Well, C4, Cultivate Forward Mentoring Program. We mentor young men in Birmingham. We start at age or grade 6, and we take them all the way through 12th grade. The premise or the foundation or the importance or significance of the program is to actually connect young men to their purpose, their interest, passion, and purpose early in life so they can stay focused throughout their journey. This year is a very significant year in our program. This is the 6th year. Well, next technically the 5th year. Technically the 5th year. But this group of guys that are graduating this year, we actually saw them from 6th grade to now.
Oh
So they're
wow.
all graduating. We actually just left an event, Suits for Seniors. It's our C4 initiative that we implemented this year because this is the first group of guys that were actually graduating where we wanted to give them a suit as a gift from the program to go on to the next journey of their life. But our whole point is kind of just engaging the kids, build relationships, and try to figure out what are their interests. And then the hope is that we cultivate those interests, like get them involved in those interests, and hopefully they turn to a passion that will then turn to their purpose.
Cool.
So that's the whole premise of the program. We are 5 years strong. We have our 5th year Heritage Ball this year to celebrate that, which is a very significant event to us.
Listen,
It's Black excellence
when I
at its
tell you,
finest. I was so proud at the
you
last
really have to come
You gotta come with it.
top notch. This ain't no event, you just have step on.
So the C4 ball is coming up February the 12th.
Correct.
How can people purchase tickets to attend?
From social media, Instagram, Facebook. Go to C4 Mentor, and we have a link for the pictures on Eventbrite. You also can reach out to us to get tables. It's like tables will get limited. Like so we down to probably about last
Yeah,
year.
we really don't have any more tables, but like, I mean, if you come to us, we make it.
Me seeing the show, so
Okay.
if you get a table through the show, we'll look out for you. But other than
And
that,
if you want to slide just a little extra into that table,
Please do.
it's for the kids.
Yeah,
We're for the mentor. You know what I'm saying? It's only to help the people.
So it's C4 mentoring pages,
yeah,
and then the
social media.
Eventbrite link is on
All
each page.
Yeah, and when you go to Eventbrite strictly, you can just type in C4. It's going to be the first thing that comes up.
Okay.
Please, you guys support.
Please support. We're going.
You get dressed up to the nines. I mean,
we're gonna have fun.
it's stressful.
It's very stressful.
But I promise you're going to have a good time.
We always have a blast.
You got to step your game up.
Our guests have already finished their dinner.
Listen, Keisha, you did a good job.
Good job.
Job well done. Shout out to Shaped by God's Hands Meal Prep.
LaKeisha Bennett Jackson.
You guys did come on Foodies with the Tea, and we do have a signature question that we ask everybody.
Okay.
And that question is, what is your guilty foodie pleasure?
Where's that go-to that I know I can go to and be like, hell yeah.
For me, like,
and feel, to give you fat boy vibes. Be like, damn, you just crushed that bitch.
I ain't did in a while, but like I hadn't ready.
What?
A Little Caesars pizza?
I'm not gonna break something.
Wait a minute.
So the Little Caesars pizza is your guilty foodie pleasure.
Wait a minute.
I hadn't ready for Little Caesars.
Wait a minute.
You have to eat that bitch in the car.
$5 hot and ready.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna eat it in the car because by the time you get home, that shit is
right. You got to eat that bitch ready. When you get it out the window, you got to smash it right.
Well, ready. But no, I'm saying the extra most bestest would be too warmed up though.
Who?
Extra most bestest.
What the fuck is that?
It's the next level of season. You gotta be a little seasoned person though. But
that's like the one with all the meat and shit.
Absolutely.
Well, you ain't even
to the head.
Wait till you slip up.
It's not gonna happen.
You gonna be waiting.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
She's professional.
And the other one is M&M cookies from Samia.
M&M cookies
from Samia.
No ice cream.
I got ice cream.
So wait, you would smash on?
Absolutely.
Fresh out the pot and ready.
I can break off with it. Number goddamn crust in the box.
So how do you pizza and you don't eat the crust.
I don't eat the crust.
No, I'm saying like some not all of them. Like some of them eat the crust and some of them might eat the crust.
Yeah.
But it's all gonna be the box as pieces.
And then the ceiling probably ain't gonna be the whole crust. It's gonna be that
like a boom.
You know they still got that little sauce on there.
I
Maybe like a little the top.
I get like one of them bites and just throw it in the box.
Yeah.
Shame.
That you know that damn pizza is slaughtered.
Yeah, no.
So,
Mr.
Binion?
I was just weak at the Little Caesars part. I would have thought, Pizza Hut, Domino's.
No, I don't care about it.
Papa John's.
Why Little Caesar killing them?
You gotta eat that shit in the car.
It's hot and ready to eat.
Yeah, right then. Because when you get home, you can't even warm it up or nothing. It's horrible.
But I'm greedy though, because like I probably burn them out. That's why I don't like hot food. I'm greedy. Like I don't want to wait for it to get.
So you're a dog.
You're not the one to do this.
So
I want to know.
So you eat your food like a dog. Is what you saying?
I don't even like I don't like hot food.
What the fuck?
I like it warm up to eat.
Room temperature.
That's special.
Cause like I said, I'm gonna burn my mouth. Cause I ain't gonna wait.
So you can't blow the food.
So you.
I didn't think about blood.
He ain't no soup.
No food.
He
put ice cubes in.
I am fucking weak.
I'm not burning that.
It just cannot process it at the moment. So, listen to me.
If I had to say, I'm a junk food person, so like I gotta be careful. So like double stuffed Oreos, I can sit here, I eat a whole roll and be like, I ain't gonna eat no more, and then go back and start the second roll.
Milk or no milk?
No milk.
Oh, you gotta have some milk. Almond milk.
Silk.
Oh my god.
Man, that silk be junk. It might be a little watery, but that's
Water.
It whams though.
Now, even with me being lactose intolerant, I will eat Leaveil cookies and cream ice cream. That's my second thing. I got 3 things though, because I'm greedy. So double stuffed Oreos, Leaveil's ice cream. Most of the time it's doubled up, so I'll take the Leaveil because I like to get down to like when you eat that Leaveil's ice cream. If you're a real Leaveil cookie and cream eater, if you're not, you ain't understand this. But when you get down to like about the middle, there's always a whole cookie in there. Always a whole cookie in there. You live for that whole cookie.
Yeah. You gotta get the whole cookie.
Especially when you got that little melted ice cream that can go up in there that you scoop around the corner of it.
Yeah.
You can't go in the middle because it's still a little hard. Yeah. But you go around the outside of it. Bruh, smoothie.
If you get a pint and it doesn't have that cookie in it, you almost want to go back and get another because you feel cheap.
Yeah.
So that's so you do that. I would go back, but I try to hold steady and not go back and eat it. I try to wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna eat it tomorrow though, because I can't keep a pint of ice cream once a week.
So how often would you have like a little pleasure a week?
Hold on, let me give you my third one.
Oh.
Edgar's original cinnamon roll. Edgar's, the original cinnamon roll. I tried to go to the orange. I don't like the orange. I don't like the sweet ones, but the original cinnamon roll, I can eat them. I drive out my way to go get an Edgar cinnamon roll.
Dedication. Yeah. That's a dedication to a fat boy.
I get the cinnamon roll. I maybe get the Edgar cinnamon roll. I try to get it once a month because I would sit there and get one every day. When I was going into the office to go to work, I would get one every day. Like I would purposely go like at the time we was running a lot, I would run to make sure I can eat that cinnamon roll. I'm gonna eat that cinnamon roll every day.
Now getting into the meat of things, are the role models versus social media influencers?
Have social media influencers become the new
role model? Like, is that the new standard for being a role model? And I'll start with this, just the definition of a role model. A role model, by definition, is a person who is looked to by others and they're imitated. People want to be that person. They want to be like that person. So, in knowing what a role model is, have social media shots up influencers. I said it. I know. We're talking now. I definitely said it.
Hold up.
Everybody take the shot.
That's what they
to work.
I said them both.
That's what
Shut
makes it
up.
fun.
We talking about it though. Like,
Thank you. So, by definition, who's taking over? Because it is now a versus battle between the two. So, who has the most influence now?
And I'm guessing, like, even in you guys' organization, was that something that kind of got you started? You know what I'm saying? Because
influencer wasn't a thing.
you know what I'm saying? The examples that they currently have now really, ain't doing.
Like social media was a thing, but like influencers wasn't a thing.
When you started?
Yeah, like I feel like influencers like just really just kind of like came down. Like people had social media presences, but like people were quote unquote influencers.
Mhm.
This current like kind of really just came to the forefront now. So I think it was just trying to have for kids. It's really my role models for real. Like people that they see in their neighborhood, they feel like they can model themselves after. Like if I see Tonio at the store, like is Tonio somebody I want to be like? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just somebody I see at the store? It's not somebody I need to try to be like. I need to be somebody. I can see somebody that if I see him, I feel confident that like I'm sure he's showing me the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like it's somebody in my community that I see every day that I can put my hands on, that I can touch, that's showing me what I can be and like what I can see and just make it real to them. So influencers on that tip is just I feel like influencers are just people that we see but we really can't really relate with. They just got a movement, but they're not real people for real. They're just people that we see on social media. That's my opinion. Like,
You got an influencer?
somebody that influenced me.
I mean,
Are
in
you?
social media.
What are you saying? Is he an influencer?
No. Do you have a social
I
media?
don't know.
Nobody you can say.
No, not for real. Nobody
Are
out
you being
there.
honest?
I did that.
Are you being
So,
honest?
do you have a role model that you follow, or that you?
Somebody ask a grown man, do they have a role?
I mean,
But
so I'll say a mentor. Do you have a mentor that?
So is that wrong for a grown man to have a
Um,
role model? Because I mean,
It's hard for us.
if you think about it, everybody has a phase of life.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I think everybody should have somebody that they look up to that has been in that space
Right.
that you're currently going through.
Right.
So let's just say, how old are you?
38.
So you would
No,
have.
39. I'm sorry.
You
Damn.
did. I laughed.
Cut the shot.
No.
We stop worrying about it.
That happens even if you're not.
I'll be 40
You know what I'm
this year.
saying?
Whatever age I'm, I'll be 40 this year.
So that's what I'm saying. So you wouldn't want to have somebody in their 40s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To say, shit, I'm coming up behind you.
But I don't think like cats not actively trying to play that role. That's the L we take right now. Like there's nobody that's in that role that's above me that's trying to say, hey Jermaine, like it's the way to move. Like I just feel like the generation above us dropped the ball as far as breaching the gap between us and the young cats. So like nobody that's old. Like our parents like most of them like we got parents. They probably in their 60s and their 70s. Nobody in the 40 and 50 age range is bridging that gap. So that's so I feel like in like in the black community, that's where the ball dropped between the people that's in their 50s and their 40s right now. They weren't there to try to bridge that gap between the people, the civil rights movement. Those people, they weren't there to try to bridge it with us. So we pretty much just kind of picking up the ball now, freelancing for real, but picking up the ball now for where they dropped the ball at.
So would it be wrong to ask somebody like, hey man, can you be my mentor? So let's just say I know I don't have the time, but how can I let down somebody that came to me because clearly you saw something in me to say, hey, I want to be that.
Because I don't.
And for me, I would feel honored. But I'd be like, yeah, I might not have the time, but where I can get you in, I can get you in. It may not be no everyday thing, but at least we can sit down once a month for lunch. Hey, if you can set out these goals, do this, do that, do that, we'll check back with you as time go on.
I got a young man now that kind of fell up under my wing, but it wasn't a formal thing like that. Because if he'd came to me formally, I probably would have told him no. But it's kind of like he's one of those things where he's in his 20s, late 20s, and he's kind of like making some mistakes in it. He just calls me and asks me for advice, you know, and I give him the best advice I can at that point in time. In my mind, I feel like he's slowly or slyly kind of creeped into a mentor mentee role without me having to feel obligated to it. You see what I'm saying? So if he pick up the phone and call me, he know at any point in time, just like with any of the boys, they can pick up the phone and call me, but I don't feel that obligation to kind of set anything up or because we know what to us mentorship looks a certain type of way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if you come to me and ask me to be a mentor, I want to follow with you weekly. It's certain things that I want to do on a consistent basis. But this opens it up in a space where we can kind of be fluid with the expectations. Right. You know what I'm saying? So in that space, I think to the point he was making earlier, like that older generation hadn't really shown us the way. So we only know it the way that we tried to create it to be. And it may not have been the optimal way, but this is all we know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's...
And so I get what you're saying because it happened in my folks. So I asked my mom, like, okay, when we was growing up, how come you never taught us to save? And her thing was, well, my mom died when we was in high school. My dad left. Who taught us to save? You see what I'm saying? So it was almost like I'm fighting life myself. All I can teach you is how to do is survive, to be in survival mode. Right. So it's like we say the people behind us or the people ahead of us didn't do it, but at the end of the day, they were just surviving in the time that they were in.
So,
you see what I'm saying?
I think as adults, we gotta see that in the people. Like we gotta see, like I can't go to a certain type of person or a certain person expecting like the world. Like I can't, I gotta be realistic with my expectation of my mama or my daddy or somebody that I feel like gonna be a mentor. Like, I can't go in there saying this is what I want and I haven't seen that. Like I can't expect that from you because that's not what you showed me. Right. So my thing is like they'll say like maybe us getting in a position of where it's like a generic or a mode or a relationship we build generically. I mean, like it's better than me saying, "Hey, be my mentor," because like he said, once I say I'm your mentor, the expectation goes here instead of just a general conversation. Like you give me tidbits here and there, conversation wise, I'm cool with that because that's all you got from me. But when you say I'm here for you because I'm your mentor, I'm expecting a whole lot more from you. Mm-hmm. So like Leaveil said, if someone came to me now, and people contact me all the time through my inbox saying, "Hey Jermaine, will you be my mentor? I mean, I got a kid that's going to XY school." People tag me in posts. They tag the program in posts all the time, but I would never engage something that I feel like I can commit to. So I'm not even gonna bullshit you. Like I can do something because like Leaveil said, like man, that shit like if I give it to you, like I gotta commit to it because I don't want to let anybody down. Like so, if I can't do it, I just tell your friend like, "Hey, we in a school program. We deal with we deal with 6th grade boys, 6th through 8th. Where if your kids don't go to school, we really can't do no with them because I don't even want to set you up for the L. Like because if something happened, I'm like yeah, well, I see for a mentor it.
Yeah.
So like I'm not even gonna set us up for the L.
So could that? Would you think would be a reason why the social media influencers have came in?
Take a shot. I'm gonna definitely stay on the shot word for you guys.
I just think it's what we at in life. Because I think at some point in time, Martin Luther King was an influencer. Like during that time, I just feel like this is what we're in now. Social media has created a space where regular people could be influencers. I mean, they're the it people for our society. So I just feel like this was social media.
So does that make your job harder?
No, because I mean, I don't know arrogant, but I feel like I'm that dude in my space. Like I feel like I can compete with people.
Right, because that was definitely one of my questions. The tug of war part.
Yeah, are you in competition?
No. But let's just say this is with young Dolph, rest in peace, that you're looking at.
Not because I
see what I'm saying? Because you're looking at their life, but this is what I've taught you.
No, not at all. Because if you look at somebody that's so mentoring is a difficult space because sometimes like cats like they don't like sometimes.
Think about it.
Yeah.
It's a drink. It's a drink.
No, sometimes
we got
people that take the space of mentors be like lames. they can't really correlate with the kids. You know what I mean?
So they really don't have the connection.
No, the kids not gonna look at them like, okay, like, hey, Tony said I should do this because
Right.
look at Tony like.
Tony is lame.
Yeah, like what the kids, right, exactly. So they're not looking at couple boys, look at Dolph, they're like, that's Dolph. You know what I'm saying? So when the kids are like, oh, that's Leaveil, you know what I'm saying? Like, he not goddamn Tony the lame.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you find yourself battling that though?
No, because I'm Jermaine. I'm not that
You're
guy.
Jermaine, but you're not Dolph. But
the thing is,
right.
so this is the thing, right? So you do have to battle with the music, right? The music is the biggest influence.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the music, the artist, the way the
we
artist
talk about that.
See, but the thing about
it, and I think it's more so the way of life that they live, not more so the music.
But we said we show.
It's definitely the music.
It's definitely
I know it has a play in it, but I'm looking at the life.
But we show them that like regular guys can have the same thing that the drug dealers have, the same thing that the hustlers have. Like
you can have that.
You can have go to job, go to work every day.
Yeah.
Like so, you don't have to do these things to get these things. So like you could live a regular life and still have nice stuff. I mean, it's realistic. It ain't impossible. But that's like we live. Like we feel like the only way you can get nice stuff is if you hustle.
You definitely have to. It's definitely an influence when it comes to the music, right?
Take a shot.
Is a part of our culture, right? So,
man,
I gotta cut that.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna take my shot, but let's make a disclaimer. Govern your
y'all pick the word. So,
pick the word is a part of the conversation. You got to tell
I'm okay with it.
I'm cool with
we are not responsible for anybody's.
We got plenty of sleeping room.
I'm gonna text you and see if you get home. After that,
that's it.
I can't be held responsible.
But the music definitely has an impact, right? So it's a part of our culture. You can't separate the music from the culture, like no matter what, because the music is a reflection of the culture, right? So you have rappers that portray a certain type of image, whether they live in it or not. It's still the reality of the environment in which these kids see. Whether they come from a decent household or not, you know, they still go outside. They still see the news. You can come from a decent home and still be impacted by the reality that's around you. So we tell kids, you know, you ain't got to do this and that, but I see it every day. So we do have to combat with that. But the thing that I think Jermaine is pointing to is that at the end of the day, Dolph, whoever else, ain't in here talking to you. They don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to come out here and spend their time to educate you and enlighten you on life. You can't pick up the phone and call Dolph when you get in trouble. You can't do that. I don't care who it is. Whoever your favorite rapper is. You can't pick up that phone and say, man, I'm in trouble. I don't want to call my mama. I don't want to do this and get out of that situation. You can't do it. So at some point in time, that's why, again, going back to that age thing, it's a difference when talking to a third grader trying to tell them that, talk to a middle school kid that's just in the muck of the nonsense, that he really is teeter-tottering on going left or going right. Middle school is the optimal age where you having to make a right decision or a left decision every day. Every day that you wake up, you have to make a right or a left. And depending on what decisions you make, is going to dictate what's going to happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
That's what, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I think that's where we win it, because the consistency, our availability to them, and at the end of the day, we're not lame. We actually have real life. We can tell them story. We got a story for every situation they've been in. Between us and the people that's connected to us, of what they come up with X, Y, Z. If we ain't experienced that, we can bring somebody else that experienced that. Like we had a young man that we had a guy come in and talked about just being on child support and just showing the kids his paycheck stuff, like bringing the reality to them. Like you gotta, because look, you know what I'm saying? It's different.
So how do the boys respond to that? Like, are they responding in a manner of, okay, I understand, I get this, I'm not gonna
it's crazy
move this way.
The kids still.
I think it may be consistency. One, because then two, like he said, you have some kids that are in that environment that these people are rapping about. I mean, let's just be honest.
They see it every day.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to detach myself from what I see every day, as opposed to
what you telling me.
And they said you selling dreams, but if I don't see it lived in my everyday life, it's almost kind of like you selling me a fairy tale. You see what I'm saying?
And that's why we try to live what we say. You know, so we try to make it be a visual of what we tell the boys as possible. Like we're trying to. I can't talk about purpose and passion if I'm not actively pursuing purpose and passion. Like I gotta be. So for me, it makes me. I gotta cry now because I'm in front of 10 or 12 boys saying, "Hey, boy, you gotta live your purpose and passion." And I'm out here bullshitting. Like I can't do that for myself. So I gotta be out here actively moving in that same like. Once we had this conversation, once a person come to your face, like it's on you after that. You can't say you can never say in your life, nobody told me that. Nobody care. Like you got somebody care.
Jermaine pointed that out to him all the time. He said English is no longer an excuse for being exposed, and that's one of our biggest things is to expose them to it. Because at the end of the day, we see the boys on a small window of time in their life on a weekly, monthly, whatever basis. So our job is to expose them to as much as possible. We have access to them, but at that point, it's up to them when they're faced with that opportunity to invoke that knowledge to either apply it or to reach back and say, "Hey, you remember you told me X, Y, Z? I need you to."
Yeah, call us on the bullshit. Like we said, like make us put some action with the work. Like don't let me come here and bullshit and you don't say, "Hey, man, you said X, Y, Z." Call me on it. If I say it, goddamn, make me act on it.
These people who are celebrities that are now saying their celebrity status shouldn't be looked at as, okay, this is a bypass, a role model or influencer.
You don't have that.
So how
you don't have that privilege.
No, you don't have that the autonomy to switch back and forth because you want to benefit financially from that. So you got to assume all the responsibilities that go along with that. If it's some financial gain, you got to take on the criticism and all that goes along with it. So as a role model, and that's where I think Biblical Fox was going with her statement, or Lisa, what is it?
Lisa Ray.
But she came back and said something Biblical Fox did.
Okay. So it's like, at that point in time, when you assume that responsibility to be out front and reap those benefits, certain celebrities go through, like I say, they go through the ringer, they go through somewhat of a not so informal, so what training. Like, don't say that. You gotta say this. Be careful with that. You can't say this because you're gonna cut down.
They definitely have the training for that.
Exactly, because it's more about the people that your handlers are telling you that because you're reducing your earning income by every time you open your mouth saying some off the wall stuff without thinking it through. These influencers don't have that. Right, they just pretty much saying whatever they need to say.
I think the mayor just saying.
I
think I'm just gonna be drunk.
I think I'm just gonna keep on taking these shots.
By the time this thing is over.
They say what they want to say because it's just on the cuff, off the cuff. There's nobody over them. They're not paying anybody, no publicists or anything like that. So take win. Like so you say something, a little soundbite like that, is went viral, and now every kid has seen it at some point in time, whether they knew what was going on or not. They took that 10-second clip without context and made it law from somebody they looked to that they thought was pretty. That they now like, oh, they already was looking up to them, but now it's like they pretty. They said this. That's my girl. Oh, I'm riding with her. Whatever she said, or whatever he say, he cool. Whatever. He believe that. I believe that too.
See, and I have a problem with people who are in a position of, people watch you, and it's not just adults that watch your content or that listen to your music. I have a problem when they say I'm not a role model. I love Cardi B. Okay, I love her. However, when she said I am not a role model because it's up to the parent to allow their child to listen to whatever. These kids sneak and do a lot of shit.
It's a cop out because it's easy to say me much as I don't want to be a role model, like I'm a role model, something to my, especially our boys, like certain things they look up to me and say, like if Jermaine do it, like
you said the shot word too, but keep going.
I said a role model.
That's the shot word.
You said influencer. I thought it was influencer. Oh damn,
take a shot.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Even though I don't want to be,
Cut his mic off.
I have to.
Cut his
You know what I'm
mic
saying?
off. Let's cut it
So
off.
the thing is, like, I have to be conscientious of the stuff I say.
Babe, we took it already.
No, you like, let's go catch up.
Team dark skin slow. Ain't no melanin in there. Ain't nothing to filter this liquor.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, man. You hear me? Shit, we're gonna stay strong though.
But like I'm saying, like, just as far as this, it's a cop out because you just don't want their responsibility. You just want to do the hell you want to do when you want to do it. So there's a lot of shit that I do want to say on Facebook, right?
You say a lot of shit on
But
Facebook.
think about the shit I could say on shit I used to say before C4
Thank you.
was established.
But you still say a lot of
This
shit.
goes into the point I want to make. So now that you know people are looking up to you,
Right.
you gotta follow. Should that stop you from being who you are?
Absolutely. It's not gonna stop me.
Like,
It's not
should
gonna
I filter what I say?
Sure, 100%.
Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna look up to me, I want you to look up to me in everything that I am.
It's a cop out.
What you mean?
That's irresponsibility on you just saying you doing what the fuck you want to do. You gotta have some type of conscious respect of the people that's following you. Like, you can't just be out here doing and saying what the fuck you want to say because this is me, this is authentic me. If you gonna like me, you gonna like me. That's bullshit. Because everybody can receive what you're saying.
So
in all levels.
So in saying that, do you think that social media has changed that standard?
Because
to say this is
and
me,
this is what I'm saying.
and this is what I do.
Because conscientious, responsible adults say I can't say and do anything because I know I got XYZ problem. People that use the bullshit, they gonna say, man, like, I'm not your wrong, but I'm gonna do what I want to do. Fuck that, this me. If you want to follow me, follow me. You want to do this, they gonna use this as a cop out.
But okay, so thank you for leading me into my point. That's why I asked the question, because at the end of the day, I have to, somebody told me this, to thine own self be true.
Correct.
So you got some people looking up to me.
We gotta be realistic.
Wait now.
But
what you're saying to me.
Let them land.
No. But listen, this plane ain't gonna never land. In that, how can I truly be who I am freely?
If I have those.
If I can't let you see everything of me. Because if I don't, this dumbs down life for you and not me. Because I can show you, I can still do this and be the fun-loving person that I am. I have my own personality. I do this, I do that. But if all I show you is this, then when you error, you got people who would fall into a sense of depression. You have people who will fall into these niggas lied to me. Because you really didn't show me everything. You only show me a certain...
Let me say this. Absolutely not. You could be your authentic self, but it's all about one word: context. So as you displaying that and you going through those lows, you don't let the lows stay the low without bringing context back to the table. If you're going to educate and you're going to teach about the lows, because that's your. I mean, at the end of the day, if you say you want to be your authentic self, it's something about that low that is a story, is a testimony. You don't let the testimony sit on the floor. You bring it back to the table and let it be a teaching moment. If you let the testimony sit down on the floor and lay it in interpretation, you are failing. Because you wouldn't do that for your kid. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, you got to assume the responsibility that there may be a young man or young woman that's out there that's looking up to you, because you are in the public spotlight, regardless of how you feel. And you can be your authentic self, but you don't need the testimony on the floor. You got to bring it back to the table.
That's good.
But if you never let me see you down. You see?
No, you're right.
You get what I'm saying? If I always got to live my life like a camera is watching, that's what I'm saying.
You got to fall.
But you got people who
how does it look though? How does not being perfect, does me not being perfect be like, also,
the filter?
Also like, fuck it, this shit, y'all got it like on that type tip, or is it, I took a L, y'all, like this is where I'm at, but I'm trying to do XYZ.
I mean, but
how do you
okay, so this is what I'm saying. Not necessarily saying taking an L, but if you can really live and say, I'm living like who I believe Jermaine Johnson is, because I know I got some kids following me, does that give you a false sense of reality? To say, all I see him was up here.
All I seen was the high.
You see what I'm saying? All I seen was what to do. But if I've never seen you in a point of, hey man, I'm just living life. But only on, hey, I've only taught you to do this. Like, okay, you might teach the kids, you might not want to be drunk. Right. But you know, at the end of the day, I got all that shit. But in teachers, they can't have pictures on social media drinking. Right. Especially open shit. Right. Because they'll end up getting fired. There's some shit in the contract. Right. So I'm saying that ain't all of who I am. Because now I'm watering down my life because of role model. But have you? I ain't. I can say
Has the bad of a person ever took away the way you felt of a person? Like you saw the person that you. So have you ever been around a guy or a woman that you like? Oh, she's like the best person I ever seen. You want to be like they feel like they cheat, right? Mm-hmm. Like damn, I didn't know this one, but you like you gotta throw you off, right? You gotta like deter the thought process you had of that person, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like if you do the same thing with a child or a person that follows you, like, do you feel like that's going to deter the way they feel about you as far as being an influencer or being a...
But that's what I'm saying. Why would I get disappointed when you showed me who you exactly are?
Because it really
you see, that leaves no room for disappointment.
But at the end of the day, like, you being my role model ain't about...
We shot glass.
And
his hand was shot. Baby, you ain't
this cuts off the portion of the shot. No more shot words. The next shot we take is going to be the closing out.
You see me in my bag takes away the aspects of how you feel about me. Is it necessary though?
But if I've never seen you in that light, that does insert a point of disappointment. Because I would never know you to be a person that error.
But does disappointment make you a better person?
I mean, disappointment will give you a reality of life. I mean, you could have dispelled that from the beginning.
Sure. Disappointment from a person who you think so highly of will put another perspective.
You hear me? That will send you down a rabbit hole.
Me, if you show the other side, I will respect you even more.
But let me bring a premise to it. Case in point, Martin Luther King. All we taught was that he was this big, but when they made this movie, I appreciate that. At what point did you appreciate that? Because you could appreciate that in elementary school when they showed it to you and when all Black History was Martin Luther King. Now, I would have still had a perspective of you because of what you've done, but I still would have looked at you as a real nigga because I knew you can still be here and you can still be the one that's smashing these bitches on the side.
No, like even when we talk to our boys, you're not
That's what the movie said. All we knew was Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott.
Wait.
You see what I'm saying?
Wait. Because I got to touch on this right here. Did he say he was still smashing the bitches on the side?
All I'm going is by what the movie said, and clearly they interviewed the people, and these were the people who had insights in their life. So that is what I'm saying. In the day and the age of Martin Luther King was a social media influencer. Right?
I agree.
Nah, we on the phone. I made the declaration. Fuck that. I am a co-host.
He made the declaration. I ain't taking no shot.
I made it. If you still got drink in your mixer, if you still got tea in your lemonade, got a lot of tea in mine. We know. This is what you're sipping on. Fuck the shot right now. We just talking. So this is what I'm saying. If I got the real deal of who you were up front, there leaves no error for disappointment for me now that I'm in my 30s. Because I knew this nigga was smashing bitch on the side, but yet still he was yelling freedom ring.
So I
But what does him smashing bitches on the side have to do with?
But that's what I'm saying. Because you create a perfect image of a person, and then yet society says cheating is wrong.
I gotta be team dark skin right here because, like, at the end of the day, you have to be. You gotta show your inadequacies as well as your. You know what I'm saying?
You fuck up.
And my thing is,
I ain't gonna say I fuck with the hoes though. Like.
no,
No. It goes beyond just a regular person, like a regular kid. This goes into folks. You know what I'm saying? You really looking up to me, and I know this. I see this. So I gotta give you every aspect of life, not just the pretty Cinderella version.
But
I gotta tell you what Maleficent
but
is.
this doesn't involve this. Like, I ain't gotta tell you about this to make you a better person or a better man or a better.
No, but if
I show you my error, the error of my ways.
If Jermaine Johnson, I see this dude.
Right.
Not necessarily that we may have had these discussions. Right. But you have to understand that when people are looking up to you, they will get a perception of who you are without even having insight. Right. So if I see you with a particular, that's his good. Right. But then tomorrow I see you with another bad bitch, and I'm like, man. Right.
He got plenty of
You see what I'm saying? But you gave me a perception of life that
you was only with the one. And
this is what life is.
See, but it's the thing where I think we do well. Like, at the end of the day, we far from perfect. And we done made all type of mistakes. But we, as mentors, we don't just show them just the shine. We show them the rust, the kinks, the dinks in the armor, and all of that as well. But we do it in a proper setting. You know what I'm saying? We don't have I think what he's trying to go to, we don't have candid conversations. It's like putting that on the table. But like when we go on our excursions, when we do the HBCU takeovers, when they all in the house with us, and a certain topic come up, and they just feel like they just gotta be perfect gentlemen, we explain like this is what we experienced as teenagers, as young men, and like this is what the outcome of this situation was as well. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give them all of it, but at the end of the day, I value what you're saying.
But they call relationship.
Right? You don't lead with that.
No.
You definitely don't lead with that. But that's something that the relationship development you provide.
But and this goes back to the basis of the premise. Do you believe that that's why people of today are leaving old school role models for social media influencers?
No, I don't think
because at the end of the day, the influencer are giving me the real. You will tell me
it's entertainment though.
It's
entertainment though.
But to whose eyes? Because I ain't looking at this as entertainment. But you when we grew up, rap they was really rapping real life kind of situations. These niggas today, not saying that they not rapping that, but then you might be over exaggerating. Right. So, Future, bad bitches, you fucking them here and there. Right. You really giving me what life could be like, and especially if you're making this money and still living this lifestyle. I might more be in tune to listen to what Future's saying as forward to Jermaine, and because not necessarily that you're not giving me these conversations, but this nigga Future's being very candid.
But as a role model, if I'm fucking multiple chicks,
but not just saying fucking, but just to what people might not necessarily know about you that you don't put it up.
But am I as a leader or a mentor? If I am doing this, is it my responsibility to tell you that this is the way to go? Should I not give you the correct or the better?
But if you're doing it, why wouldn't you tell me that's not the way to go?
This ain't the win. This ain't the win.
And it may not be a win, but you damn sure making it look like a win. You see what I'm saying?
Why wouldn't you tell it's not the way to go? We definitely tell them it's not the way to go. But in the event that they fall themselves prey to that experience and they actually go that way, we can tell them why it's not the right way to go. Although we articulated that, but now we can tell you, all right, I can take you first account.
Right,
not the way to go. But we're not going to lead with it.
And you might be telling me that, but that still does not make the life glamorous.
So that means you depend on the man, the person.
I don't want to go down that path because I start thinking about pastors right now. And they feel like pastors don't need to be perfect. And my thing is,
believe they step to the point I'm trying to get to. Yeah, bro.
Before you go there, for me, this is my choice.
Always the devil.
It's my choice. I feel each individual person, you can't be perfect. It's a choice. You choose not to be perfect, but you can. If you choose daily to be perfect, you can be perfect. Point blank, period. Regardless of how it works, my choice is daily. Whatever I do daily is a choice.
So do you feel that some days aren't as always good as the others?
My choice. If I fuck off by choice.
So that's what I'm saying. You make it this lifestyle, but then you will say, if the opportunity presents itself, I can still go left. But if all you're teaching me is the right and not necessarily so showing me the left, when the left do presents itself and I see that shit, then now I'm looking at your man like, damn, you lied to me?
But are you looking at me like you lied to me?
You don't know that. Because all you see is that I just got somebody looking up to me. You don't necessarily know the light in which they're looking up
to
me.
I ain't lying to you, man. I kept it real with you. I just ain't told you about the bullshit.
That's gonna come when you make that left decision.
I need that bullshit though.
I say, excuse my friend. I say, yeah, I fuck those. Right? But if you do this is what come with it. I know. I tell the boys like I ain't never said.
Regardless of what I'm doing, that's the fact.
I never tell the boys like I never came to man boy in our program saying like. Make sure you like don't have sex. You get married and like.
Well,
no. But that's what I'm saying. So it may not necessarily be. It's just in the conversation of you being a real role model versus what I see in social media influencers. Because again, at the end of the day, you giving me the right.
I didn't learn about the left.
The social media influence give me the right and the left and leaving me to choose for myself. And still making this thing look like this something that I want to do.
But the thing about it is,
you know what I'm saying? Future got 9 baby moms. Allegedly.
Let me tell you this.
He got 9 baby mamas. So I'm saying, if I can go in that lifestyle and do that, what he's doing, I come up with a hot 16 every now and again. Future do more than that, but you know.
I'm just saying, young boy, that thing went right there. But he got something he can't get rid of.
Ooh.
Allegedly. I don't want to talk about that. Allegedly.
Because see, if y'all come, it ain't us. He said it. He's not a part of the Foodies. He's not a part of the Foodies. He's a part of C4.
I got
you go. The Foodies have nothing to do with it. You need to be, even though it's Team Dark Skin.
The thing about it is. Putting it out there as though like them following Future and all these other influences and stuff like that, they can put themselves in a position they can't come back from. Mm-hmm. It's best to tell you the right way, regardless of what you decide to do. Now, and we also, and while we telling you to go the right way, we telling you why you should go the right way. Mm-hmm. Now, if you choose to go the wrong way, you can't claim ignorance because you was already educated. So when it falls in your lap and you got something, or you have to deal with something that you can't get rid of, and it's not just about disease, it's about even
life, yes, baby mamas, baby daddy.
I mean, there's not even baby mamas unless you take sex out of it. You could be the drug dealer part. You know what I'm saying? You can get into killing somebody. But I understand that, but when you got people in this, saying I just shot a nigga, or I just put a hit out on them. You ain't thinking that this lifestyle not going to come to you. I see somebody actually get shot. I'm still selling drugs on the corner. And yet still, I'm making millions. I got the big ice out.
Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie.
It's all a lie.
Listen.
Rap about it, and then put it on music, and then just allow the world to just kind of take it in. You done gave all the details.
Bobby's murder is a prime example. He was in jail. He's a prime example.
And it looked like he just.
But you know what? In so much as so, law has become, they are using lyrics against you.
Yes.
Now, there are some who are getting that kickback, but that's what I'm saying. You making this lifestyle look glamorous to me, as opposed to I see you every day. You might not necessarily be on that level, or I don't see you as that, But how you can tell me that that ain't the life to live, and I see it being lived in front of me?
But it's like we ever heard people say when keeping it real go wrong. You keep it real. You can keep it too real.
Pop Smoke. We can go down the list.
You keep that shit. You keep that shit.
Keep going down the list.
That real shit, like catch 22, like yeah, like that real, like
I'm hot.
like real niggas, like who gives a fuck about real niggas at the end of the day?
I give a fuck about real niggas.
Real that shit.
I like to get an example so I know what you're talking about. If you talking about an example, give me a real nigga and then give me an unreal nigga.
Consideration in the terms of saying I'm a real, like at the end of the day, like as a grown man, what the fuck I care about you calling me a real nigga? Like do I really as a grown man?
But it's not necessarily somebody calling you a real nigga. It's just a matter of you being.
But you know what that real nigga comes from. We in the community know what real nigga means. So when somebody calls you a real nigga, you already know. I know what you're trying to say. So what would be the problem with somebody?
But my goal is not set out to be a real nigga. I'm not. Jermaine is not daily setting out to be a real nigga. That's not my goal. I'm not trying to make you say Jermaine a real nigga. I ain't worried about that shit. Like I give a fuck about you saying.
So what's your goal daily?
Jermaine a good dude.
Okay.
Like Jermaine take care of his kid. He's a good man. Like if you need something, Jermaine gonna look out for you.
Okay.
Man, if you say I'm a real nigga, like I'm like.
You were asking what they did.
Well, I got a boy. I coached at Carver, right? When I first got to college. Like one of my boys that I coached at Carver. This is before I even knew what the fuck mentoring was, before I knew what my passion was, right? So one of my boys now be like, man, like he's one of our mentors. And like super great dude. Like I love him. Like he's locked in. Like he's a great young man. Like he's one of the men that you want your daughter to marry, right? Mm-hmm. But he's locked in completely. Like so as far as if I can get a Bentley going forward from C4, man, shit, I did my job. Like I appreciate it for everything it was worth.
What about you?
I was telling him before we started this about this quote. It said, society would be greater when old men plant seeds of trees they will never bask in the shade of. Mm-hmm. And to me, like, ultimately, a lot of the seeds that we're planting now, we'll never reap the benefits from. We'll never see the outcome of. All in all, I'm just setting out to be, like he said before, being what we didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Being that, whatever it may be, that we felt like we didn't have to the next young man. And for me, when I lay my head down for the final time, if at the end of the day, people walk away and say that I made some impact in some shape or way, making the earth better than I had it when I was here, I'm happy. Even on a micro level.
I think about this scripture we got said. I feel about the word.
What scripture?
But it says that no greater love have no man than this,
friend.
that they will lay down their life for another.
Yeah.
And I think that mentoring, even being influencers, that you know you're influencing people, that you actually. Man, bump this shot.
It's the final shot of the night.
We're going to do that. Sit it down.
Okay.
You got to relax.
But I'm saying this to the point that.
I take my shot.
See, that's what I'm saying. He's drinking water. He's trying to dilute his shot already.
Nobody's gonna know.
But D, give him a double. Excuse me. D, give him a double for T. Thank you. But, I mean, that scripture to me speaks volumes of you guys. That you are actually laying down your life to mentor the next generation. And I applaud you guys for that. That's cool shit. That's something to really be proud of. That you guys are making a difference. Yes. Regardless, again, like you said in the quote, whether you see it today or not, you know that at some point in life along the way, I dropped the seed down into somebody. Mm-hmm. Bible speaks of that. One planted the seed, one watered. But it's only God who gives the increase. So we thank you guys so much for planting seeds into these young black men to be something greater than what your environment sometimes predict you to be.
Or teaches you to be.
And you don't have to be that. There is another way. If you guys want to, just as far as saying kids, y'all want to get into the program. Parents, if you want your kids, you see them, that you know that I ain't really got a firm grip on their life, that I need some insight. The father may be that, and they may be not. But they need somebody to say, hey man, there's another and better way. That what you're seeing is a mirage, and we want to give you the real deal. Please, Birmingham School Systems, right? Yeah. Birmingham School Systems. Hit them up. C4 program.
For joining us tonight, our special guests have Leaveil Binion and Jermaine Johnson, both of C4 Mentoring. Make sure you check them out on all social media outlets. It is C4 Mentoring. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, the Foodies with the T, and Facebook, Foodies with the T.
Make sure you still follow us. Me, Antoine DeMarcus on Facebook. Instagram, DeMarcus Antoine.
And I am Spill No Tea on Instagram. So, thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure you follow us subscribe to this channel on YouTube.
Continuing the legacy. Regardless of whether we saw it or not, we want to leave, like Mr. Binion said, this world a better place than when we lived it. And we'll be damned if we let it fall on our watch.
That's it.
It's Foodies with the T, C4, Delicious Sips. We out this bitch.
Thank you.
Delicious cocktails.
Tonight's episode of Foodies with the T was sponsored in part by Dee-licious Cocktails, C4 Mentoring, Sweet Sips Bartending Company, 5th Annual Cultivate 4 Heritage Ball, and Pearl's Closets. Tonight's meal was prepared by LaKeisha Bennett Jackson of Shaped by God's Hands Meal Prep. As always, thank you so much for watching Foodies with the T. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment. This has been Foodies with the T.